Welcome back to the Nose Plays Total War Warhammer 2. We're going to continue our Total War Tuesday series, and we are in Game 2 of our Skaven campaign. Last time, we had just recently conquered our starting territory. The starting region only has 2 settlements, and we managed to take back Granite Massif pretty easily. And then we headed south and wiped out the orc contingency that was most threatening. At the moment, we did manage to negotiate a minor acceptance of this tribe, so they're not likely to attack us anytime soon. However, the tribes to the west of us have not made such an offer, so we are not completely out of the woods in terms of us being attacked while our army is away. And unfortunately, it does need to be away for a little while. We also have another orc tribe to the north of us, which we are definitely at war with. And it's going to take some time for us to muster a force strong enough to deal with them. Right now, what I really want to do is try and secure this region through the south down to Karak Zorn. Karak Zorn has a dwarf faction living in it currently, and as I recall, they are particularly difficult to deal with. So we'll see what we're able to get accomplished here in the next hour or so. That being said, our army barely managed to secure victory, and you can see we are definitely in need of some time to recover. I don't think it's a good idea to rush out and try to take the Lost Plateau right away, but we could do it, and I've got to think about that. There is a risk involved.
Time to do it, leaders.
Is there anything we can build over here that we need to build? Not really. Population surplus in Channel Valley. Channel Valley is this one.
Warlord, quick-headed.
What do we have here? So we do have a clan pit already, but we cannot upgrade anything.
Horned One's realm weakens.
Alright. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be doing any building. So I guess the question is really, do we risk sending our army down here? If we did, we don't have a way of avoiding. How far can we run? Okay. So we could get all the way to here, but we would not be able to declare an attack because we would be doing the rush thing.
Quick says no.
If we go to there, then we can get to here in a single turn.
Mighty warrior champion.
Yeah, nah. We'll just camp out this
To the
turn.
nest barrow.
Resolve. Okay, Queek leveled up. I wanted to try and get to Lightning Strike quickly. So, let's see. Which one of these abilities is going to be the most useful? Ambush success, recruitment cost. That's not bad. Skaven corruption is also not bad. Our current army is completely filled out, so this is probably not that useful right now, but it will be useful later when we start to replace our units. So maybe we go ahead and grab some Skaven corruption for now, and this will give us more chances to use the threat from below ability when we fight people. Alright, what else? Do we get 2 points? How many points do we have? Wow, okay, so we had 2 points. I must have gained a level in one of those earlier battles and didn't realize it. Probably should have applied one of these points, although I don't think it would have helped us in the battle because we didn't go down one of these other lines yet. Alright, that's been resolved. I don't think there's anything else to do this turn. So go ahead and end the turn and heal up a little bit. It's going to take several turns before we are back to full strength. But I think the plan is solid. We're definitely going to need to recruit a second army here soon. And we may even need that second army before we finish taking the dwarves out. It might require a double force in order to break through, because they're going to have a fairly large garrison and at least one army, and maybe two. I don't want to wait too many more turns before we take this second settlement, because I'm afraid they're going to take it with one of their armies that will eventually start heading this way. They do tend to stay in their own little spot in the corner for a while, but...
Your kind are known for stalking your foes, my lord. Approach unseen, and you may bring them to battle unprepared.
Alright. So our army's healed up a little bit.
What now?
But not completely. I think this is still a good time to go ahead and move to here.
Where no furs?
That sucks.
I say, move,
Alright.
move!
It sure looked like we weren't going to get attrition in that spot. Okay, so we moved back just a hair, and now we're no longer getting attrition. And from here, we're unable to put this encampment stance, but we can go into ambush stance, so we might as well.
Yes, yes.
I'm going to go ahead and stay there for now. Let's look at our lords.
Is too strong?
So we do have a number of lords we could recruit. Warlord Scrot is aggressive. And Boilrin is sneaky. We definitely want to grab one of these guys at some point. Loyalty is 2 to 7. He's got a higher loyalty than any of these other ones. Scrot is 3 to 8. That might be the way to go. Aggressive is a reasonable combat trait. We'll look at these guys in another turn or two. Should have looked over here. We did have something we could have started building, which we probably should have done. Alright. I can't tell if this makes it go faster or not. Population surplus. So we definitely have some building that we need to get done. Ooh. That's interesting. I think it's time to consider building a tribe. Or building another one. For 2 reasons. there is something over here, potentially an aggressive orc army that just wiped this out. And secondly, this is easy pickings for expanding our territory. We do have the option of building some things, but before we do that, let's go ahead and recruit. I think Scrot was the best of the group that we had, so we're going to take Scrot.
Stink of command.
And we're going to go ahead and get him some clan rats. 3 clan rats for now will be good.
I am warlord.
I can't put
Warlord,
him in
me.
the city for some reason. Alright, we have the ability to upgrade our facilities, which I think we should immediately do, since we still have the money to do it. And I also have the ability to upgrade. And right now, I want to continue to just try and get growth. That is the most important factor. Get this settlement leveled up to max level as quickly as possible. We also have the ability to upgrade to clan rat shields and spears. How? We have clan rat spears. Okay, yeah, so we would get the shielded versions. Gotcha. That is probably worthwhile, and while we have the money to do it, we should. We should be able to get here now, and we can go to stalking stance.
Quick.
That should allow us to attack this.
Attack.
Alright, so we have options. We can occupy and settle, we can treasure hunt, or we can do nothing. I think we should treasure hunt just to see what happens. I haven't done a lot of treasure hunting, but I think it's worthwhile. We can always come back and occupy the settlement afterwards. I'm curious if we treasure hunt whether or not these values will diminish. So try to remember 1700 and 536. Let's treasure hunt first. As you search through the remains of a collapsed colonnade, cries for help echo through the rubble. People are trapped beneath. Although their welfare is of little interest, they may be of some use. Do you order the area to be cleared and the survivors freed, leave them to die beneath the fallen masonry, or perhaps pursue another course of action? Let's do what rats would normally do and attempt to blackmail them. Amazed by your callousness, the survivors let out a string of curses as you walk away. They will all die, but it is too late to reverse the effects of their magical mischief. One good turn. Where'd that go? Winds of Magic power reserve is minus 20 for all armies. Alright, well that doesn't really affect us all that much.
Fight me, fight quick.
We do have the ability to colonize for 1 turn. Okay. Yeah, so we're done for 1 turn. And we can't go into any different stances to help, so I think that's about it. We should probably check on diplomacy and see if anybody is... Yeah, nobody's really... Nope. Alright. Well, that's enough of that. Nothing we can really do yet. We do want to get this army out and over here soon, though. So maybe this next turn, even if it's a small army, just to scout what's going on. Population is growing pretty good. The one thing that I am a little concerned about is our food. We're definitely going to need more food soon since we're making another army. I'm fairly certain that the size of your army dictates in part what your food needs are. Also, the number of settlements may contribute to that, but settlements can, on a small scale, produce a little bit of food, so. That might not be as big a deal. Yeah, I wish there was a faster way to get through these turns, but unfortunately with a game this size and with this many things going on, that will not be the case. This looks like something's spreading here. That is, I'm not sure I've ever seen that happen before. That being said,
I am warlord.
let's go see what's going on.
I say move.
Alright, there's nothing here. Well, we may try to colonize that next turn.
Well overs.
We can colonize this settlement.
Need more trophies. Yes.
This is going to cause us to lose some of our troops. There was a settlement cost there. You saw a number of our troops basically stayed behind to settle this place. And that means it's going to take time for us to get new recruits. So we're going to have to wait a few turns before we do anything else.
Warlord quick head taker.
Now we can build some things. The growth. Yep. Growth building and rank 2, and then we'll level this one up next. Our food is still positive at the moment, but as we recruit more things, army upkeep and settlement upkeep, yeah. So all of those things consume food. Also, the menace below apparently has some type of food cost. So far, I feel like we're in a pretty good place at the start of this game. War has been declared, so that's not bad for us. If the dwarves are at war with the Necrarch Brotherhood, we might be able to gain some allies by fighting with the dwarves, declaring war on them. Should be really easy to do.
Your prestige grows, my lord. News of your conquests spreads far and wide. Your developing power is noted by even the most distant of kings and bestial lords.
Well, good for us. So we have now looted or raised 3 different settlements, which has given us a stockpile of cash. So that has been good for us. Bonus objectives completed. Nice. From 1 many occupy, loot, or raise 6 different settlements. Well, we're on our way to do that.
Who? You? Die!
Let's go ahead and treasure hunt again. Deep within the ruins of a recently destroyed city, you send a scouting party to investigate a nearby tunnel entrance. While waiting for them to return, you suddenly find your camp is completely surrounded by Skaven. What a surprise! They demand payment for your safe release. We work for the Horned Rat.
We are brave, mighty.
Scrot has been wounded. Well, that's not cool. We're gonna have to get a new warlord for this army. Alright. You look like you'll do.
The doom is coming.
That was unfortunate. Scrot has been wounded and must take time to recover. Alright, we have money again, so we can build some things. This army is still recovering. We can upgrade that to a growth building. And we still have the money to upgrade this to rank 2, which we should totally do. You can go away now. Alright, we are now at 0 food, unfortunately. So let's see what happened. What caused that? The settlement upkeep increased to -4. We're gonna have to figure out what buildings I can build to increase our food supply. I haven't quite figured out this food system yet, but I know that last time I played, it really started to affect us in a very negative way. You want to stay at least neutral with your food, because it really affects your combat effectiveness when it starts to drop below that. And seeing as we were barely finishing fights before, that's probably not a good thing. We should definitely consider improving the quality of our troops here soon. Numbers are only going to do for so long. It's unfortunate that our warlord got injured too. That's a little bit of a problem. Not a big problem, though. Alright, we have some opportunities once again.
Clan rats are not content.
Go ahead and get this up to rank 3.
What? On one command.
Alright. Let's go ahead and
Gouge.
colonize this settlement for now.
The doom is coming.
And we have the ability to build something. Can't build defenses yet. I say we build up the Rattling Warrings. We're not gonna worry too much about grabbing all of this territory. We're just gonna try to hold this as a defensive point. And yeah, this territory is all broken up between the Tomb Kings and a rival Tomb Kings. I'm not even sure. Okay, these are the Tomb Kings, and these are rebels that they let get out of hand. So they might actually attack us. We do want to build up some defenses here. But that's what kind of why that army is stationed there for the moment. I also need to get down here and see how bad the Dwarven faction is going to be. And now we're at -3. I'm not sure where this is coming from. I think one of our things wore off. We were getting a bonus to food from something we were doing. Food is gained from fighting battles and can be grown in special buildings and settlements with the pasture resource. Well, we ain't gonna find any pastures over here, I don't think. Yeah, there's not a lot we can do right now. It's gonna take a while before we can perform our rite again. And we don't have access to technology because we need the clan armory and the assassin's hideout for those. So maybe that's what we want to build here soon. Our income is still pretty good. But I'm a little worried about the food situation. Because we need some time to recover. I don't think that our army is going to be capable of taking down the dwarves in its current state. We're definitely going to need some different equipment. And that's going to require us to either fall back to this territory to recruit better troops, or get this army built, get the defenses built, and then swing them down and around somehow. Interesting. The beastmen are walking through our territory. I don't see him. Lost Plateau. Okay, yeah, he's out this way. So he's moved into our territory. Unfortunately, this army is in no condition to fight him.
Where shadow, horned rat.
But it is in a condition to recruit. And we can recruit from the global pool, or we can just recruit from the local pool. Just getting some bodies is probably more important than anything at the moment. Queek's army is in pretty good shape.
Horned ones, realm wakens.
Alright, so then the Lost Plateau. What do we want to build here? Public order building, perhaps? Defensive garrison. I don't plan on having to deal with the dwarves for a very long time. This would be good if we ended up in a stalemate with them, but that's not really what I want. We could build the Night Runners and Gutter Runners recruitment building. We can't build any of these buildings yet, but we will be able to soon. Yeah, maybe we go ahead and get this built. This gives us access to more troop types. We can then... Let's see here.
Need more trophies, yes, yes.
We can then combine some of these troops. Like maybe these two. Merge them together.
No.
Merge them together. That gives us a couple spots for more Gutter Runners in a couple of turns. I think that's worthwhile. Yeah. Alright. I still have enough money to upgrade that, so we will.
Too strong.
And up here, we've unlocked another slot. We should definitely consider getting... This would be good. Obsidian Quarry gives us access to trade. Increases income from all buildings. Gives us a flat income boost. And reduces recruitment costs. No, we're gonna wait. We need to save up some money. I don't think we're gonna move our army yet. I want to wait till I can recruit the Gutter Runners. So this is kind of a slow game this time. Not much excitement yet. See if we can't change that here in a moment. And get our dwarf slaying on. I'm a little bit hesitant to be too aggressive considering how poorly our last fight went. Even though we ended up winning, it was not very pretty. We didn't win convincingly by any stretch. And you may not know this, but dwarves are just a little bit harder to break than orcs tend to be. Those orcs were crazy with the ability to hold on with their morale. They just kept coming back for more and regrouping over and over again. It was quite frustrating, honestly. Alright.
8 beaks is mine.
It's going to be a couple more turns before we can start to recruit from here. And we definitely want to change out some of these guys for shielded versions. I have a feeling we're about to get attacked. Luckily, he doesn't have much of a force. But our forces are injured.
Skaven warlord.
Oh, what could we do here? Skaven slave slingers. Clanrath with shields. Take 2 turns.
Guide us, Horned One.
Just grab some more slaves and then we'll run out here and take him out if he's still around. Alright, do we have enough money to build anything a little bit more useful? Yes, we could build this. Maybe. We could build this, which is something we'll definitely want to consider if we want to move up into here. Any buildings above tier 3 have to be built in the major settlement in order to get access to the highest tiers. These buildings all look really good. This would be useful. And the defense of our territory. Yeah, I'm not sure. What is our corruption like? Ooh, yeah, this is a problem. Public order is at -6 currently. Gonna go down to 5. So that building pretty much takes care of our problems with corruption, and we can generate it all the way up to the top if we build it in this settlement, which we should. So let's go ahead and build that for now. That will help get our public order under control so we don't have a big Skaven rebel army rise up and cause us problems.
Is dark omen.
We can... Ooh. Exotic animals. 20 cages. That is an interesting trade. Ah, Clan Mulder. Okay. Well, we're not going to do that for now. What we are going to do is what we've been doing, and that is get the warrants and get our growth so that we can get these maxed out as quickly as possible. Once we get these maxed out, we can demolish that building and replace it with something else. But until then, it's kind of a problem. Might want to just throw this army up against one of the Dwarven armies at some point, just to thin the ranks a little bit, and then we can fall back and refill it. These guys don't like us very much. Let's... wrong screen. Let's see if we can't talk to them. Can.
Now, there is desperation in your pitiful eyes. That knowledge alone will comply.
Alright. That's a good start. Yeah, we can't offer them anything right now. We may want to try and develop a relationship with these guys that's not completely toxic. Ah. They actually have a settlement with pastures. And that provides food from what I understand. So maybe, instead of being friends, we do want to wipe these guys out. That's hard to say for sure. Time will tell.
My plans game.
Alright, we're going to get into a battle, and we will actually play this one out. Since it's been a slow video up to this point. Assuming these centaurs stay where they're at. It didn't look like they were mustering, so they shouldn't have more units when we actually get into the fight. And it will be a very small fight. Let's see if they move. Orcs. Yeah, they didn't move very much. And they are raiding, so that is part of... Well, that is a little bit of an issue. They're taking all 15 gold away from us. Not much money to be had in this settlement at the moment. Alright, builder, quick head taker, present in regions during building construction, reduces the cost. That's not bad. We get some buildings constructed, that's good. And we got some units recruited, that's also good. Let's go ahead and deal with these guys.
Such an action would surely lead to war. As glorious as that is, proceed only if you desire conflict, my lord.
Oh, they caused this.
Stab, stab, die, die!
You guys are raiding our territory, you gotta pay.
Battle, cowards answer to Mimi!
So we do have the overwhelming numbers, but keep in mind our units are completely garbage. The clan rats are reasonably useful. And our warlord is fairly reasonable. But the rest of our units are not very good. So what we probably want to do is get the Skaven slaves up front. Let's get the clan rats in the back. And try and get,
Prepare to die, die!
maybe we even go narrower than that. Let's try
Rick-a-rock!
like that.
Clan rats!
Put him right there. Yeah.
Voila!
Move this up. Alright, that's probably as good as we can get it. Try to get the archers to attack the clan rats as much as possible.
Great clans, Cece!
Do we have... We do not have any of the menace from below, and this territory is saved up, so that's unfortunate. That was going to be the best way to deal with their archers, but I guess what we'll do is we'll just run slaves at them. And then try to get our clan rats to deal with their one melee unit. A little curious where they're hiding.
Squin Ricato crack!
Alright, where's my warlord at?
I am best!
You're gonna fight him.
Ah, Rick-a-rack! What orders?
You guys are going to fight.
Stab, stab! Skaven slaves! What? Britannica!
Get these guys on the flanks.
Read! Murder, kill!
Alright, I think we're in pretty good shape.
Skitter and leap!
Run.
Clan rats! Hasten, hurry! Stab!
Get them on him.
For the Vermintide!
As long as those slaves are chasing the archers are going to be pretty much worthless. They would honestly almost be better off if they weren't running away.
Warlord! Scary race!
Alright, so I like the way that this worked out. Using the slaves to just run the archers off seemed to be really effective.
Hungry for battle! Clan rats! Nash! Kill! Kill! Skaven slaves! Die! Die! Die!
I don't know what we do with these guys. I think we just wait.
Warlord!
They're not going to be able to do much. I guess we can send them. Yeah, they're broken.
Ready! Ready!
The only squad that's not broken is this one.
Now! Ready now!
But we can literally just run them off the map if they don't turn around, so.
Warlord!
I don't think we're going to be able to catch any of these guys. Go ahead and speed this up a little bit. Yeah, they finally turned around. If we can get behind them, it's going to be the end of those archers. Victory it is. In the battle, they won't have much left if they even survived. They will probably retreat, but we'll be able to just chase them down. Overall, that went a lot better than against the orcs. Really not sure why the orcs were so tough to beat. I don't remember orcs having such strong morale, but we shall see how it goes in the next few. Definitely going to be fighting orcs for a while.
Another victory! Praise me!
Let's see. We can get some money.
Order their release.
We can get some food.
They fetch many warp tokens.
Or we can replenish our units. We don't really need to replenish our units. The food seems like a really good choice in this case.
Stronger. Move march.
I still have room
We are brave.
to run him down. And I think we're just going to auto-resolve this time. Take the food.
Power. Mighty warlord am I. Great one.
And we can run back to here, which will increase the
To me.
recovery rate. Passive ability. Pigeon Plucker Pendant. -5 melee attack. Huh. Enemies have -5 melee attack. That's not bad. He is leveled up, so let's go ahead and get him some abilities. I think Route Marcher is almost imperative. In terms of what would be most beneficial moving forward. Since this army is really tiny and hasn't really recruited anything of substance, this could end up saving us a significant amount of money. So we'll probably gain a couple points in that to try to reduce the cost of our army. We've got a building here we can build. Okay.
Watch your back, Tile.
Yep. Let's go and upgrade that to tier 3 for now. And over here, we can upgrade that.
Once the realm wakens.
I really strongly favor the growth buildings in the early game. Maybe that's not the best play, but it seems to have worked well for me in the past. The one advantage that it does give you, significantly I think, is if you do, because you don't have a lot of the higher tier units since you're focusing on growth, when that happens and you do get beat in a battle, you have a stronghold to kind of fall back to that's pretty well developed and hard for the enemy to take away from you. Yeah, I'm not sure whether we want to come over here or not. I think we do. I think we want to hang out over here.
Mighty warrior champion.
And this will give us a view of what they have. So
For the wisdom of Valea.
they do have a level 2 dwarf leader, some dwarves with great weapons, and some warriors, and a bunch of other stuff. But they're only on a 12 stack. The garrison is fairly significant though. Armored and shielded. Yeah. We're going to have to figure out what kind of early armor-piercing units we can find and recruit some, because that's the only way, other than just sheer numbers, that we're going to be able to beat these guys. And I'm trying to remember.
Enchiladas too strong.
Lost Plateau. I guess it really doesn't matter which one we look at, but Night Runners. They have reasonable combat statistics. Armor-piercing missiles. Okay, Death Globe Bombardiers are good for armor-piercing. Storm Vermin are armor-piercing. So Storm Vermin are going to be our best bet, probably. What else? Rat Ogres are also armor-piercing, so that might be... Plague Monks are... and Plague Catapults. So Plague Catapults might be the best bet. That's a good strong ranged unit that we can use to soften up the enemy. We're going to have to research this in a tier 3 settlement. Plague Catapults, Deathwind Globadiers, and Storm Vermin. That's what we need to take out the dwarves. None of those things are things that we currently really have access to. I don't think a 20 stack can take this army. It is essentially a 20 stack, but there's 20 stack is significantly higher quality than ours. The one thing that we might be able to do is bait them out of the city. By raiding this territory and getting them to fight us. Which, even if we lose, wouldn't be that big a deal, because I kind of want to wipe this army out anyways. We'll see. I like our food situation again. It's not going to stay there, though. At least not for a long time. And now that I'm looking at that, it looks like he actually has 2 stacks. which definitely puts just winning by sheer numbers out of the cards. There's no way we can beat 2 stacks with what we have and a garrison. Yeah, we're definitely going to need a second army down here. So then the question is, how do we get our second army down here without leaving this wide open? And I don't know that we can. We're just going to have to risk it, probably. The one thing that we do have going for us is we have kind of a buffer city between our main settlement, so we at least get some warning whether or not somebody's coming, instead of just having them show up at our capital. Scrot is ready for duty. I don't plan on doing anything with him. Skaven corruption, rights. Yeah. So we have a number of things we can upgrade.
Time to eat leaders.
We're at -90 with a -1 currently. I think it's worthwhile to go ahead and push this. This is going to put our public order to positive and unlock some technology for us. So I think we have to do that, unfortunately. And then over here, we really needed to get Plague Claw catapults, but that's going to take a couple turns before we can do that, so we're going to have to wait. I think we basically just use all of our cash on that one building, which is fine.
I lead.
You guys can probably just stay here for the moment. The other thing we could do is we could move into somebody else's territory and start raiding with this army a little bit. It generates food, which is important.
Our clan will rise.
Well, let's try it. So if we move just over the border here.
No blame. Hunt for slaves.
Yeah, it's not giving us any income, unfortunately, but it is giving us 3 food. Alright.
My plan scheme.
I will raid for a little bit with that army, and what are we going to do with this army? Yeah, he's got 2 armies.
Thirsts for war.
Okay. Well, let's see if we can't
Off ship. Raid.
coax them out.
Scuddy.
So we're actually getting some income from here and a little bit more food. I think that's what we're going to have to do in order to keep our food up for the moment. Population surplus. Valley. Ash River, yeah. Alright. I think that's probably good. Let's take a look at our provinces. This is a nice little map, or it's not a map, nice little chart that gives us some information on what's going on. So public order is really bad here and dropping. Public order is okay in these regions, currently at 29 and at 4. It's going to take a while before those go negative. And we are generating some income in some of our provinces. These are contested, and this is united. We haven't looked at that in a while. Let's see if whatever we selected growth and reduction to construction cost. I think that's probably still the best play. We could increase public order this way, but we just built that building, so I'm not too worried about it. We could also increase the ability to recruit, but we're not really recruiting from that region at the moment. And in a pinch, we can generate food, a small amount of food, but I don't think we need to do that unless we start to fall below neutral. So we're going to leave it on growth for now. I want to get this level up to the max level as quickly as possible, and then we can start destroying those growth buildings since we won't need them any longer. But we're definitely going to have to get 2 stacks down there with the right type of troops before we can take over the Dwarven army. The only thing that's going to allow us to do that sooner is if they try being aggressive with us and allow me to just overrun them with lots and lots of Skaven. And it might take multiple fights, even if we end up losing some of them, but we would win the army of the battle of attrition at that point. They have 1 settlement compared to the 4 that we're currently using, and technically 5. This one's not much of a settlement, it's more of an outpost. Just a way to keep sight on what's going on to the most dangerous side of the map for us currently. The reason I'm not too worried about the eastern end is because we do have that pact with the vampires. And so they're not likely to attack us without warning. Raiding by... What? I thought I was across the line. Well, that's annoying. Where's the line?
We are brave, mighty.
Yeah, well...
All tales are mine.
So that was silly. We raided our own territory. We need to go over here.
Let's tails move.
Now that we're in their territory, we can go into ambush stance for now, and then start raiding next turn. Well, I feel a little sheepish. What do we want to build here?
A shadow of horned rat.
We could upgrade this. I don't really want to spend much money on that region at the moment. Not if we have other regions we can upgrade.
Stink of betrayal strong.
We could go ahead and get the breeding pit. Alright, we also have access to the rubbish pit. I don't think we need this. Yeah. Not too keen on that. We're just gonna sit here for a couple turns. Now we did get this built.
We must spread our own corruption.
So if I move... I can't see the line. I think it's like right there.
Move, move.
If I move there, we can go to encampment stance. Do we need to do that? I think we can go ahead and hide. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but we can recruit some Night Runners or some Slingers. I wanted to get...
Quick!
Well, I guess we're only going to recruit one. That's fine.
A magic stick!
You know what? Let's do that. Yeah. Okay, so by going to encampment stand, we don't take the attrition. That's better. And then we'll recruit a couple more next turn and we'll go back to raiding. Alright. Somebody's leveled up. It looks like it was Queek. Queek can go ahead and max out his corruption. That's going to be helpful over time. The longer he spends in this region, the higher the corruption level will get. And eventually, you can see it's already up to 38. As this gets bigger, it does cause public order to go down, but it also allows us more opportunities to use the menace from below. So, it does have its benefits. Alright, we're only going to do a couple more turns today, I think. It's been kind of a slow wind up. Part of that just happens to be because we got a little lucky in that first engagement and managed to wipe out the first major faction you deal with by the skin of our teeth. But it did put us behind a little bit in terms of being able to take on anybody else for a little while. I need to check on my lords, and I want to make sure I'm not getting charged for having 3 lords. I'm pretty sure he just goes back in the pool of lords available for recruitment once he's wounded. But let's take a look at that real quick. So if we go to recruit lord. Yeah, Scrot is here, and he has a cost, and he has a loyalty of 4, which was set when we picked him up. The 1 to 6 is the random roll that you get, I believe, when you first recruit them. So you don't know what their loyalty is going to be until you actually recruit them. There's a range. We definitely don't want another lord right now. We don't need a 3rd army. It's going to be very expensive. So we're not going to bother with that. But we do have some building construction that we can do. Over here we have this empty slot. And maybe the alarm tunnel would be good. That would definitely increase the defenses in this territory, which I think are going to be worthwhile at some point. This alliance may not hold indefinitely, and more importantly than that, there are other enemies that may end up taking these guys out, like these guys, who are not as friendly with us. So preemptively setting up some defenses might be the way to go, but let's take a look. We have a limited amount of income. We do need to get Stormvermin. Yeah. Man, that's expensive. Alright, well, I gotta think about that.
8 feet is mine, mine.
We can recruit. So I've got Gutter Runner Slingers and Night Runner Slings. These are better than regular slingers. How many spots do we have left in this army? 3? So maybe we go like 1, 2, 3, and that fills out our stack and gives us some ranged units. I like that well enough. We still have a pretty good contingent of clan rats and spears and storm vermin, so the spears can make the bulk of our front line. The clan rats can kind of try to find holes and flank from the back. Storm vermin can sit in the back and take on whatever's left. Yeah, it'll work in a pinch. Alright, so we can get you raiding.
Skulk and raid.
I don't really want you moving into an aggressive position, but those guys.
Clan war.
How do I know for sure what territory he's in? Province of Blightwater.
Most masterful of masters.
Well, I can tell that he's in their territory because we're actually pulling income. So that's good. That's going to make them mad at us, but I'm okay with that. So then the question is, where do we spend this money?
Time to eat, leaders.
And the options were... we spent a bunch of it, so now we don't have enough to afford the buildings that I wanted. Okay, well...
One's realm weakens. Littermaster.
What is it? What's going on with this army? Lord not moved. Okay. Yeah, we can skip that. Let's get a 1 or 2 more turns in here. So I apologize if this is kind of a slow video, but sometimes this game is kind of slow and not nearly as exciting as it could be. Now I could be a little bit more reckless.
Emissaries from a foreign ruler are seeking a pact of non-aggression. Such an agreement will foster trust between your followers. Trade relations or an alliance may follow.
Okay. Let's see. I'm okay with this. I'm gonna counter offer their demands. They want 100. Yeah, I'm gonna counter offer this, and they've rejected it. Alright, well, maybe we can get that back. $100 gold isn't really all that much. I probably should have just accepted the offer, but alright, this is a little worrisome. They've created another army, and they are mustering. Bell was completed. That should put...
Clan needs new better rulers.
Change per turn is 0. Interesting. Public order is stabilizing at 94. We really can't afford for it to go anywhere else. If it does get bad, we're going to have to maybe switch this to the public order one for a while. Okay, we have money again. Lost Plateau. Yep, I think... Oh, we could get this, though. food capacity is +5. Yeah, there's a lot of benefits to upgrading these. Provides a bigger garrison, more income, more growth. This one is actually better defended. But we're more likely to lose the Lost Plateau. So having this gives us a better defense. Alright. We can move him now. We need to just switch our stance.
Great, I'm fine.
Into their territory. And now we have a full 20 stack. Not a very impressive 20 stack, but a full 20 stack nonetheless. Yeah. Alright, and I think that's probably going to wrap it up for today. Next week we will plan on maybe throwing this army against their defenses just to see what they look like, and then trying to rebuild this army and the other army into a dwarf slaying force. You may not want to rebuild both of them that way, because the units that are best for slaying dwarves are not necessarily the units best for slaying what we're going to be spending the majority of our time fighting. Once we get rid of this dwarf fortress, there aren't any dwarves nearby for a little while, to my knowledge. It's mostly undead on the left and right, followed by lizardmen, which sometimes will take over in this region. And then to the north, it's orcs as far as the eye can see. All the way to Karak 8 Peaks, which is that way, which is where we want to go, because it's one of our major quest line things that we can benefit from if we take advantage of. So that is the plan. Join us next time. Every Tuesday is Total War Tuesdays for the foreseeable future, and we'll see you then.